we get started? So welcome to everybody that's joining us. My name is Katie Hendrickson. I am joined by Jen Torgerson. We are the sales counselors here at RiverWoods Manchester, and we are also joined by Julie Kosh, who is one of our residents. So a little bit of housekeeping. Everyone that is on this webinar is on mute. So if you have a question and you say it out loud, we won't be able to hear you and we won't be able to see you either. So please feel free to use the Q&A box either at the top or bottom of your screen at any point in this webinar. We'll be going through the questions at the end. But if anything you want more details on or you just aren't understanding, feel free to just pop it in there and we'll go through it one by one. So let's get started. So to start out, we have this incredible drone photo of our community and the surrounding areas. I absolutely adore this photo. I think it is phenomenal, but I think it also shows how we're kind of a best of both worlds location. You know, from this picture, you can gather that our immediate vicinity is actually really rural. We're surrounded by beautiful nature. We have a 640-acre nature preserve right next to us. And yet, we still land within the Manchester city limits. So if you want access to theater, movies, restaurants, museums, they're all just a couple minutes away. So it's kind of a nice, neat little spot that we land right on the Manchester Hooksett line. So a little bit about RiverWoods history. You know, how did this community come to be? So there are actually 3 RiverWoods communities: Exeter, Manchester, and Durham. Exeter was the very first community to come online back in 1994. It was created literally by 2 ladies at a breakfast table who wanted to live their life as active and independently as they were now, traveling, you know, going out for, you know, educational purposes, for restaurants, for everything that they do normally in their life, but know that they had care opportunities available to them should they need it. So they founded the Woods campus at Exeter. Over the years, 2 more campuses came online, the Ridge and the Boulders. And then Manchester came online. Manchester was an affiliation with what was called Birch Hill. The history is about 31 years old. It started out as just a women's aid and relief society, and then was just a nursing home, and then became a full continuing care retirement community, which means that they had independent living, assisted living, memory support, and nursing support all available in one community. And then Durham is roughly, you know, 3 to 4 years old now, but it's our newest community. And then we always keep a very, very official SPE/STE on our timeline of history, because it means someplace else or something else. There are no plans for a new community right now, but we always look to it on our horizon to help serve a greater number of people in the New England area. So a little bit more about where Manchester's community is located. So as you can see from this overhead, you know, it really shows how we're next to this really gigantic nature preserve and how it's very rural, very surrounded by trees and nature, but still very close to Manchester, downtown Manchester, that is. Manchester itself is a really great location. It's 20 minutes to Concord, New Hampshire, 30 minutes to Nashua, 45 minutes to the coast, an hour to Boston. We have the Manchester Airport right nearby. So you have a lot of name cities and towns and locations all within an hour or less of here. So, you know, if you like to go to the beach, if you like to go to Tanglewood, if you like to go to the ballet, theaters, you know, you name it, it's really accessible. Mm-hmm. So we saw an overhead drone shot of our community, but this is a front and center picture of our main entrance. One thing that we are just finishing up is all new siding and a whole new roof. So this is a brand new exterior. It is really updated. Makes the community look stunning. But this is where you would come if you decide to come tour the community. So this is kind of a neat view. The architecture of our community is very interesting. There's multiple roof lines. Basically, it's a heart and then wings that branch out in every direction. So there's a ton of window opportunities and natural light that comes in, which if you're interested in seeing, come schedule a tour because it really is very open, very sunny, and, very warm. So this is our whole community grounds. I talked about it being sort of like spokes on a wheel with those wings that branch out, but it's all RiverWoods roads surrounding that main building. So it's very friendly if you like to walk outside or if you have a pet that you need to take for walks. It's very accessible. We have unofficial cut-ins to that nature preserve if you just cross the street. But it's also very safe. No one is driving by at 100 miles per hour, blaring music. I always make the joke coming from Massachusetts that it would be me if anyone. But this picture also shows a new project, which we'll be talking about a little later in our webinar. And you see these hand-drawn images of cottages. So we have 4 cottages at the moment, but we are building 18 more. And our groundbreaking is actually happening next week. So those blue and red images you see on your screen are representative of where those new cottages are going to be built. So not only is Manchester local to a lot of other cities and towns, there's a lot going on within Manchester. This is the benefit of being within a city. So, the Currier Museum of Art is a big hit. We actually have a resident or 2 who are docents there. Additionally, there is a Frank Lloyd Wright house within Manchester, again, which a resident helps do tours of and is a docent of. The Currier Museum is actually quite nice. They have a whole section dedicated to Frank Lloyd Wright, which is very interesting. We've gone to Palace Theater events and the Rex Theater. A little while ago, we went to the opening of Rent, and then a bit before that, we went to the opening of Bye Bye Birdie, and they were spectacular hits. They really did a great job of those performances. But there's a ton of different opportunities within the area. The Puritan restaurant is a very popular space to go eat or have ice cream. And, we have a ski area. Again, the Cedar Swamp Preserve is right next to us, but there's a lot of different variety. So, if you have certain interests, I bet you money that we have it very close to our community. Julie, do you have any particular favorites of the area?
I've been to see the Audubon Society, and they have a wonderful educational facility there. It's, it's not huge, but it's very interesting, and they have a lot of hiking trails, and that's, minutes away from us.
Yes. So that's the benefit of being in New Hampshire is, you have a ton of opportunities to go hike, not just in the immediate vicinity, but all over. The White Mountains are just a hop, skip, and a jump away. With that being said, if you like to ski, there's endless ski opportunities. This is coming from myself. So New Hampshire is a really nice place to be, and particularly in the Manchester area. So let's talk about this Cedar Swamp Preserve that we have right next to us, because it's a really big part of our daily life. So it is 640 acres. There are multiple trails that you have access to. Some are just quick ones, some are longer. We have a group that loves to go bird watching, and actually the resident that is on the left of your screen, he actually has a couple of cameras in the nature preserve, and every single day sends out an email to about 100 people on what was seen on the cameras, why it's important, little nature and history lesson, and any interesting facts and features that might have been created. Recently, it was all about the heron nests that are being built. But there are pathways to go see, a giant rhododendron bush that blooms only, for about a week of the year, but is absolutely spectacular to see. We have an relatively new trail called the All Persons Trail just nearby, and it's super accessible. So it's extra wide, it's covered in a fine gravel versus being rooted. There's audio that you can listen to. There are these beautiful wood benches all along the trail, but it's really, really well done. Our transportation stops there frequently and as the weather gets warmer, but also it is a stop on the Manchester public bus line. So if you're ever in the city and need to get over there, you can use that as a resource too. So we have actually over 100-year history in the Manchester area. We are the only CCRC in Manchester, but what we are is a not-for-profit continuing care retirement community. So that means that we do make a profit, but it goes back into the community, and that allows us to be stable financially, but also provide the best for our residents that are here and the residents that are coming into the community for the future. Our community has 134 independent living apartments, currently 4 cottages, soon to be 18 more. And then we also have about a 63 suite assisted living, memory support, and nursing support healthcare. The 3 of those in its entirety are called the Lodge. So if you ever hear us talk about the Lodge, would be in all 3 of those levels of care. And, I talked about how we are 3 RiverWoods communities, but we are overseen by what's called the RiverWoods Group. So each community is a separate entity. If something happens to one community, it doesn't affect the other 2. But the RiverWoods Group serves as sort of an additional safety net for the community. So it's a nice extra backup plan, which shows the strength of the RiverWoods communities. So next we're going to get into our specific contract type. But before we start into this, I just want to say for those that haven't gotten an information packet from us yet, feel free to reach out and request one. This will be a great useful tool to help support all of the topics that we're discussing today. Additionally, if you want to see the community after this presentation, reach out and we'll be happy to schedule a time to meet face-to-face. If you're an out-of-stater, we can do a tour via Zoom. But just, if you have any questions or want more information, just let us know at any point. So our community has what's called a Type B contract. And the benefit to a Type B contract is you're only paying for care that you're actively using. So most continuing care retirement communities have the financial structure of having an entrance fee and a monthly fee. For our community, the monthly fee does go up for each level of care, but it's discounted off of market rate. So what's the pro of that contract type? The pro is if you stay healthy and are in independent living for many years, if not your whole life, you're only paying independent living costs. At the same time, you have the guarantees of assisted living, memory support, and nursing support available to you if you need it, and it's a discounted rate. So it's super flexible and provides more options financially for you depending on different scenarios that you may encounter in your life. Our contract type and the purpose of a CCRC is it's essentially an insurance product. So we don't actually advertise it as a retirement community, but it's you insuring your future, you prepaying for any care needs that you may have, which saves you money in the long run. Additionally, with our contract type, you have 2 tax deductions available to you. The non-refundable portion of our entrance fee can be deducted the year that you pay it because it's considered a prepaid medical expense. And then every year, a portion of your monthly fee can be deducted. And it's a letter that's written by finance letting you know what percentage to deduct. This past year, it was 24%. The year before, it was 23%. But those are two great tax advantages, while at the same time being in the state of New Hampshire. So you have no income tax and you have no sales tax to deal with as well. So those are great benefits to you individually, but this is also a great benefit if you have children. So they don't have to worry about, what happens if you need care in the future. It's all guaranteed, it's all taken care of for you. But also you can leave that refundable portion of our entrance fee to your kids, your beneficiaries, whoever you've named. So it's a, financial, but also emotional peace of mind for yourselves and your family members. And, it's also just financially very wise because it's saving you money in the long run. So a lot of our residents work with financial advisors and they love CCRCs because it's such a great investment of your assets as opposed to waiting for care needs or just encountering things as you go along. So with that being said, what is the refundable portion of our entrance fee? Our entrance fee is 70% refundable. What that means is if you were to completely move out of the community or if you were to pass away, when someone new closes on your living space, 70% of that entrance fee gets refunded to your estate, your beneficiaries. The entrance fee is based on what floor plan you are living in. So again, if you have any questions on that, feel free to request an information packet. It has all those details in it. So that's pretty typical, is that refund scenario. Manchester also offers the ability to use some of that 70% in your lifetime. And this is unique to us. I think there's only one other type B contract that offers this flexible portion of your entrance fee in Texas. So the way that it can be used is on whatever the increase is for care in your monthly fee. So making up numbers, if you're paying $1,000 a month in independent living and you need assisted living and it becomes $1,500 a month, you can take $500 from your refundable entrance fee and apply it to your assisted living costs. So again, let us know if you have any questions on that. But that is our flexible refundable entrance fee scenario within our type B contract. No, it's a lot of terms. So, how do you move into the community? So you move in when you're independent. So take advantage of these, safety nets now before you need it. Our minimum age is 62. And in our community alone, we have from 62 to 104 in independent living. So, it's really a wide range of ages here, but people are moving in younger and younger and younger because of how much safety this provides, while, taking away needing to clear your gutters, plowing your driveway, mowing the lawn when it's 95 degrees out. It's taking all of those nitty-gritty things out of the question so you can just enjoy your life. With that being said, let's say you move in and need assisted living eventually in time. We have a really, really involved and really thoughtful care team here. It involves our nurse practitioner, it involves our executive director, our social worker, your primary care physician, but most importantly, it involves yourselves. We want autonomy for as long as possible. We want you to be involved in that conversation about a higher level of care and make it really a smooth and amenable transition for everyone. And our care team does an excellent job about that. That's not a quick conversation. It goes over a long period of time, but they do a great job. So with that being said, within our community, we also have a wellness clinic. which holds our nurse practitioner's office. She can do walk-in hours, you can schedule an appointment. Our wellness clinic is also where we have lab work and blood pressure clinics, excuse me. So you have a lot of, medical sort of safety nets, even though you're in independent living. All residents within our community get up to 30 days of what's called respite in our healthcare included, and that is per calendar year. So if you got a knee replacement surgery and needed that bit of time to recover, you could spend up to 30 days in our assisted living, just with more staff involvement until you get better, and then come back to your independent living apartment or cottage. So that's a great benefit. And then, I talked about how the monthly fee for care is discounted. So you have $1,000, $1,500, and $2,000 discount each month for your lifetime for assisted living, member support, and nursing support. So you've got multiple benefits within our contract type and within the Manchester community specifically.
And Katie, can I just add that takes a permanent move over to the lodge to qualify for the discount?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the 30 days of respite is just included, but that's not the same thing as, if you're in assisted living paying a monthly fee, correct?
Right.
So these are a couple of pictures of our residents, which I love. But what I also love is this, quote, if you will, at the bottom of your screen. And it says, RiverWoods Manchester is a neighborhood full of people passionate about what they do every day. And I can't stress that enough. I worked in communities for a few years now, and this community has blown every other one out of the water. It is the warmest and friendliest community I have ever seen. The relation between staff and residents is stunning. Everyone is so happy when you come here. We frequently get asked on tours, do we secretly pay residents under the table to seem so positive? And we don't, everyone is just very supportive of the community. It's very resident voiced for the things that we do here. So it's really a great interaction. Julie, I don't know if you agree at all.
Yes, I absolutely agree. A few of my friends were a little hesitant that maybe I wouldn't fit in, being a little on the younger side, but I'm telling you, I just love it here. It's wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. And you came out of state too. So
yes,
additionally shows, even though that's a bigger move than someone moving from, locally New Hampshire, it still went easily, and you were doing things immediately. So
yes, yeah.
It's even great for the staff. It's known as a really great work environment and a wonderful place to come to work. So that's really a gift to all of us.
Yes. So here are some more pictures from, our residents and what we have to offer. So, of course, there are various outdoor paths. It's not just the nature preserve, but there's Lake Massabesic nearby and all of these, biking opportunities on back roads throughout the local area. We are a pet friendly community. So, if you have dogs, cats, the like, we welcome them. We have one resident couple that has a blue tongue skink. It's a type of lizard. I have a great picture of it around my neck. But basically there's a pet policy, as long as the pet is amenable to community living and we know who the veterinarian is, who would take care of the pet in an emergency, things like that. We definitely recommend them. We shortly will be building a dog park, which is very exciting, so that just the RiverWoods Manchester residents' pets can be off leash and have an area to themselves. Again, here are some more pictures. Again, Lake Massabesic, I think is where this picture is taken, of kayaking and biking opportunities, but
might be Doris Pond at Livingston Park, which is right down the, maybe 2 miles or so down the road from our campus here, which is a nice little park.
So there's an additional place that you can go. Yes. So let's talk a little bit about the cottage project. So Jen, I don't know if you want to start into this on what we've got going on.
Oh, sure. So as Katie had said, and thank you, Katie. And if you have any questions, again, please feel free to type them into the Q&A box down at the bottom or top of your screen, and we will get to those questions toward the end of the presentation. And as Katie had said, we have a new construction project with our cottages. We historically have had 4 existing cottages, 2 different sizes. And we have copied the square footage of those cottages, changed the floor plans just a tiny bit from what originally was offered. And in red and blue on our screen, you can see they're on a special street just off Alliance Way, which we own. It goes around our building on the campus here. So it's very walkable. It's a quick commute. It's just down the hill from our building, and it's a lovely spot. So we have been in the deposit process of those cottages, since when did we start? In the fall? And
September, I think.
right. And sold out within 8 days. So it was a very quick process. There has been a change or 2 in the meantime. We had one opened up and have a deposit on that. And I think there's one left that we have a remaining deposit on. So, but there's still time to, that we are expecting a deposit on. We do expect some turnover, so definitely give us a call if you're interested in these cottages. They're between 1,348 and 1,656 square feet, 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 2-car garage, patio, fireplace. And they really are beautiful. So the expectation is availability dates for move-in probably between December of this year and June of the following year. So depending on the cottage number within that time frame. This is our sugar maple, which is the smaller of the 2. Big open concept kitchens, lovely fireplace, as I had stated, 2 full baths, plenty of closet space, nice patio, and 2-car garage. I know, one existing cottage, the residents there have built a little wood shop in their garage, and everyone's different. They use their spaces for different reasons, but they're very, very happy, and it's a house. They're really quite large.
And we actually have a little rendering video of this floor plan we can show you. So I'm just pulling it up on the screen.
Just the main common areas, but it gives you a glimpse.
Of course, there would be an ad to start.
Bear with us.
Here we go. Again, this is just a rendering, so you may style this completely different, but it gives you an idea of sort of what to expect in the living area and the kitchen of this floor plan.
Nice vaulted ceilings, open concept kitchen, floor to ceiling fireplace, stone. And large windows, lots of light coming in.
There's a ton of cabinet space within these kitchens. This is something that was an update from the current cottages as well.
And a nice seating area with stools at the counter, which is helpful.
A glimpse into one of the bedrooms.
And people who have deposited have been able to select from different selections that we have offered, different color combinations, pretty neutral, but quite lovely. So the apartments at RiverWoods, we have 134 independent living apartments, which range from 624 square feet, in a 1-bedroom apartment up to 1,424 square foot, which is a poplar. As RiverWoods came in 2016, we started this $30 million renovation and gutted any of the apartments over the last several years that have opened, and we had certain selections to choose from also in any of those apartments that we're turning over. So new cabinetry went in, different styles of countertops, granite quartz, different colors, and flooring options, paint colors, and appliances. They're all full-size appliances in the apartments. So you could really cook all your own meals, or you can, the meal plan is included in the monthly fees, but we also have some alternative meal plans. But they're nice, bright apartments. And we have also installed laundry in each apartment, which was not here previously. And that's really helpful to people, I think, having that in the bedroom closet. It's a stackable unit. So,
We've actually, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just gonna say, we kept the laundry rooms that were
yes.
with the history of this community. And replaced all of the washer dryers with high capacity ones. So if you have a comforter that you need washing, or if you want even more closet space, you could take out the washer dryer and just use the laundry rooms, because it's not the whole community fighting over those handful of laundry machines.
Right. Not everybody wants to lug their laundry down the hall, and so yeah, so that's been pretty nice too. So you can see a white kitchen someone selected. There's with a brown brown granite countertop, and then a toffee colored cabinet, and another kitchen with a recent granite that we have been installing. So if we are gutting and renovating an apartment, you have the choice in what we're putting in if it's timed right. At this point, most of the apartments have been renovated since 2016 when we came in, and it would be carpet and paint or flooring that we're changing out. This is a model apartment. It's an Aspen 1-bedroom with a balcony. It just kind of gives you an idea of a little living room area. We have a couple different pictures of apartments here that Katie will kind of take us through. Aspen, and we have what's called a Rico tour of the Aspen. So Katie's going to click in the different rooms, and we're just going to get a little tour around the rooms, give you an idea. This is our smallest apartment, actually. There's a view of the hall door. Nice bright lights, large windows. We actually have all new windows on order in this entire complex. I think we're putting in Anderson windows with a high insulating value. The windows currently are original to the building. They all open, and they will continue to open even with the new windows. But there's different updates we've been doing. A new cooling tower in the building. We're renovating the kitchens here and over at the lodge. It's just so many updates. It's incredible. It's more like our building is now 7 or 8 years old instead of 30. So it's been a huge renovation and really well done. The kitchens in the apartments are all about the same size. This would be looking into the bathroom. We've pulled out the old tub showers and installed these nice new walk-in showers, and just nice neutral but bright colors. This is one of the bedrooms. The current, the heating and cooling is included in the apartments. We do have these current units that have been there. They've been rebuilt over the years, but they are talking about updating the heating and cooling system at some point also. Here you're looking at a stackable washer dryer, and there's actually a walkthrough in the Aspen. This is the only apartment that has a walkthrough into the bathroom. But look at that sunlight. It really is bright and beautiful. And you have a medicine cabinet that opens on the wall. There's a nice new vanity, really large mirror. There's a pull cord in all the bathrooms. There's the laundry there. So all new fixtures, new lighting, flooring, everything. This would be a walk-in shower with a grab bars, all is installed also. And there's our medicine cabinet. So every apartment has a medicine cabinet in the bathrooms also. This is a picture of a poplar. So this is actually a 38-foot living dining room. It's a very large apartment, 1,424 square feet. This is a toffee colored kitchen with white quartz countertops. and stainless steel appliances. And this was set up sort of as dining on one end. You still have the breakfast bar there and living room, big, huge sectional on the other end. And it's 2-bedroom, 2 full bath, and a den. Also numerous closets. So it's really a great setup, has a double balcony, and really quite lovely. What we're looking at here is, we call it the living room nook, or the nook. And it's on 2nd floor, and it is really everyone's living room. There's a lot of events that go on here, but a lot of people hang out, read. There's a knitting group that meets. There's a bridge group, numerous bridge tables here. There's also a light continental breakfast that is included in the monthly fee, separate from your dining points. So it's a wonderful community area that is just off the activities room and fitness area. It's very social. You know, a lot of people show up, grab a coffee, grab a Danish and some fruit, and some sit and chat, some take it back to their apartments or cottages, but it's a wonderful place to hang out and very bright. And this list is just a list of some of the common areas that we have here. You know, it's a 30-year-old building, and people can't afford to build these buildings anymore, with numerous common areas, and the entire place becomes your home when you move in. There is a library that's run by residents, of course, dining rooms on each side of the building, and terraces off the dining room and independent living as well. There's a private dining room for family parties, tavern, a resident-run tavern with 2 cocktail parties a week. There's the activities room, and art gallery wall, and a new fitness room. And those 3 were just added by RiverWoods back in 2017, 2018. So it's a really big addition. It's 3 times larger than what was here originally. Fitness room open 24/7. There's rowing machines, treadmills. We'll probably see a couple pictures of that. Fitness classes, of course. Wood shop, stores. There's a country store run by residents, and there is a secondhand boutique run by residents, which is kind of fun. You can get great deals in there, right, Julie?
Yes, absolutely. My best deals.
I even have things in my own apartment from
I do too.
Treasures.
Yeah.
So.
I do too. I have a picture on my wall back here, framed print from Italy. I think it's a signed serigraph, $10. So there you go. And any proceeds go to the benevolent fund. But it's a lot of fun, and you can donate to it also. And you can sign up to work by the hour if you care to. So let's see what else is on our list. Sunrooms, there's 6 or 8 sunrooms in the building, community balconies, as well as patios and balconies on the on some of the individual apartments, different sitting areas around and reading nooks, things like that. There's a salon for hair and nails, men and women. There's expansive hallways. This building was built by 2 hospitals 30 years ago. So RiverWoods came in and gave it a much more residential feel, but nice broad hallways, and it just makes community gathering much easier throughout the community. This is our fitness room. You can go in the middle of the night, 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 7 p.m. I've seen people in at, numerous hours, both coming and going from work. Some of the smaller classes, like maybe a small yoga class or something, will take place in here. The larger classes are in the larger activities room. This machine in the center on the top is a multifunctional trainer. So those arms go up and down. You can do standing or seated exercises. You can add all sorts of weights. And we have a trainer. Megan is our fitness coordinator, and she can be hired as a trainer, or she can show you how to use all the equipment. She leads a lot of the classes, and all levels really, and a variety of classes. And we also have some people coming in from outside to offer classes. Physical therapy is noted here. So the Manchester VNA, visiting nurses, has an office here in the building, and they can offer outpatient physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy, either in the building or at their office right down the road. They can start in the apartment sometimes if need be, and they can come in and use the fitness room. There's a stretch table, there's weights, there's bands, there's balls, there's all sorts of things. So a lot of people use that outpatient therapy, and it is really a gift to have it available. This is our art gallery wall on the left here. We usually swap out a show every month or two. And our most recent show is a resident couple in one of the cottages. They have this incredible collection from World War I memorabilia. And so that's hanging now. We've had 4-generation needlepoint family shows quilts and photography. We have an illustrator that lives in the community. Lots of different shows. Some of the kids will show, or friends of the group, or the whole art class. We have a watercolor class. The class will hang their work sometimes. So
I think that the display right now is World War I sheet music covers.
music,
So they're
yes,
really
yep.
interesting to look at.
They're beautiful,
Yeah,
really
they're stunning.
incredible. Yeah, and then this is our wood shop. We're actually in the process of moving and expanding this wood shop a little bit, and you do have to take a test to use the equipment. And there's a committee that runs the wood shop, but it's wonderful. One of our residents actually finds old wood on campus and transfers it into these beautiful little spoons and pen holders, all sorts of different woods, because it is a very wooded 29-acre campus. So there's a lot they can do in there. One makes jigsaw puzzles. One, actually, I have a Kleenex box holder that my laptop is sitting on right now for these webinars, but it doubles as a Kleenex box holder, and it was a gift. And so there's all sorts of neat things they can make, jewelry boxes and things. And they also fix people's chairs. If they have a broken chair, they call one of the guys that works in the wood shop. They'll take it, so it's really helpful. And they love having that ability here on the campus. Julie, do you get out in these balconies and sunrooms at all?
I do, yes. It's not uncommon that you meet somebody in the hall and they say, hey, we're gonna sit outside and have a glass of wine at 4 o'clock. Do you want to join us? It's a lovely place to go take your coffee, read the morning paper. Yeah, I love them. I just helped another couple of residents, and we planted the beautiful railing basket planters. And so those are growing real nice. It's just a pleasant spot to sit outside.
Yeah, and there's like 8 of these balconies. This is the only one that has steps out to the grass. It's actually on 3rd floor. We're built into the hillside. Most do not have steps out to the grass, but they're just wonderful community areas to get some fresh air. And this shows a balcony that was just updated with new siding, railings, column, flooring, new Trex flooring. And so it wasn't really set up with a lot of furniture yet, but they're getting all set up now, and residents are adding flowers and things like Julie said. So they're beautiful. And it's a mature campus, right? So you have beautiful hydrangeas and rhododendrons and other things that new campuses just don't have, because it takes 30 years to grow them. So it's really a pretty place. The sunroom on the right, you can look out the windows and just to see in the distance up to the road that leads to the cottages, actually. Tons of maples, beautiful fall color. And there's the 6 or 8 sunrooms around the building, also open to whomever wants to use them. Our library is resident run. We have lifelong librarians that live and volunteer here now, and we're connected to the Manchester Library in the New Hampshire State Library System. So you can fill out a slip and order books, and our shuttle drivers will pick up and drop off every week if needed. And we have a book club. The librarians that run it absolutely love it. And it's a broad variety, a lot of new releases and large print books. And it's small, but I wonder, it's kind of a treasure is how they think of it. And it's also open 24/7, which is nice. So if you can't sleep, grab a book or go work out. So what's included in the monthly fee? Bi-weekly housekeeping. Housekeepers clean the bathroom, clean the kitchen, vacuum, dust, and mop. Annually, they do a deep cleaning where they move furniture, and we do windows annually also. Dining points program, 18 points a day, which is the equivalent of what we call a bundled meal, which is soup, salad, entree, dessert, and drink. It's quite a lot of food, or you could order a la carte. You can carry over up to a month's worth of unused points every month, and you can use your points for family members, which is a recent change, and residents are very, very happy about that. Free light continental breakfast separate from the dining points, like I mentioned. Educational, social, physical, cultural, volunteer activities. It's all here. You can come in and start a committee. Someone started a ukulele group. Someone started an ancestry group, a civics committee. Now there's a finance committee of residents, all sorts of things. And, you know, basically, what's your interest level? What would you like to do here? And our staff will kind of help you put that in place. And volunteer opportunities always, either in the store, the tavern, you know, but also for raffles, fundraisers, fall festivals, you know, craft fairs, raffling off restaurant gift cards, all sorts of neat things. The 30 free days annually we talked about, and that's per person at the lodge in one of 2 rooms that are set aside for independent residents at all times. Pre-scheduled transportation that goes to different zip codes on different days. For medical and dental appointments, banking, and of course they go on outings, museums, restaurants, trips, things like that. And then shopping, 24-hour staffing, emergency response, and maintenance. So it's always nice to know there's someone in the building around the clock. And everyone gets a free pendant alarm, like a lifeline type alarm that works on our campus. And we have pull cords in all the bathrooms also. And we have a motion sensor system, so we can check and make sure someone's not on the floor. It just clicks on once every 18 hours and we'll respond if it doesn't detect any motion and you haven't told us that you're going away. So that's a great system. All the utilities are included. Storage cage, maybe 4x6 by about 6 or 7 feet tall. You just put your own lock on it. And winter car service, which is the best of all. So when you move in, you give us a copy of your car key. And after 2 or 3 inches of snow, the guys all come in after the storm. Is it 2? After the storm is finished, and they clean off all the cars, start them all, warm them up, move them for the plow trucks, and then put them back in the same parking lot. So it's not a sign.
I wish I had this in my own life.
It is great. It is great. And all the residents are inside looking out like, look at them work hard. Yeah, it's wonderful. Or if they're paving or something, they can move your car so you don't have to, you know, it's really wonderful. It's very, very helpful. But of course, the cottage residents have 2-car garages, which is kind of nice. We do have some carports also that are $50 a month. So that's another option.
And a lot of the people that do the winter card service are actually volunteer based. So they're not just part of the facilities team. There's a training that goes on for anyone that wants to be a part of that. And, you know, they are so nice that, you know, most of the time they'll go out to the staff cars too and help clear them off. So it's really, really a wonderful sort of team that does that winter car service each year.
And sometimes it's the next morning, but if somebody really has to get out, somebody will go clean their car off for them and make it happen. So other benefits, enhanced living for hire. So that nurse practitioner that's available in independent living 5 days a week oversees enhanced living staff, which is like aid companion services that can be hired by the hour, $35 an hour. And so if you're in independent living, you need some help to stay safer longer, that's a possibility. Visiting nurses, as I said, had an on-site office for outpatient therapies. Both hospitals locally, Elliott Hospital and Catholic Medical Center, or CMC, offer lab draws once a week in the building, which is helpful to people. There's blood pressure checks. Some of the pharmacies deliver. The wellness clinic with Karen, our nurse practitioner that works with your outside physician, that's really helpful to people as well. Complimentary pendant alarms, like I said, and pull cords and motion sensor. The benevolence clause is available. So if you come in and over time you spend down your income assets that you moved in with and need a subsidy, we are always fundraising for benevolence. So we have a fund you can apply for. It is confidential. Nobody knows who's on benevolence, but it's there. And if at no fault of your own, you've spent down over time, and then you don't have to leave at a point where moving out and finding a new place and, you know, it's much harder at an older age. So that's really wonderful also. some of our woodshop guys. So how do we qualify financially? There's a confidential data profile. So it's you put your age, assets, income, debt, pension. If you have long-term care insurance, that works really well here in our community. And it's actuarial software based on all those numbers and your dates of birth. So that pops out a number as to what you can afford size-wise and or can't. And then there's also a medical qualification. It's a health disclosure. We look at, it's your Q&A basically for your health history. And there's some information we get from your doctor, medications, diagnoses, immunizations, and I think the most recent visit notes. And you have a 30-minute or 40-minute health assessment with our nurse practitioner. So that's part of the entrance requirement also. And we're basically looking for your ability to live independently for 2 years or more safely. And so she does a cognitive test, a balance test, a functional test, and really reviews everything to get a good overall picture. But then she has a baseline. So if you're moving in, she can really help coordinate your care, on an ongoing basis with the transition team here in the building. Once approved medically and financially, you put 10% down on your desired floor plan that's available, or 10% of the combined or single or combined entrance fees on a cottage. And you have up to 60 days from the apartment offer to close. We call it a closing, even though it's not a real estate product, it's an insurance product. But 60 days from the offer date, which is the day that you're approved medically and financially. Gives you time to review our contract, ask questions, show it to your accountant if you want to, or your lawyer, meet with us and meet some residents and really review everything in detail, and close within 30 days. Closing is signing the contract, paying the balance due of the entrance fee, and your monthly fees start at closing. We are taking 10% deposits also on wait lists, which is, you were probably about to say that, Katie.
I was. So definitely, if you are thinking, I'm not ready to move today, but maybe later on, check in on our wait list, because some of them are a few years long. So definitely join the wait list now, because it serves as a safety net, even if you're not, expecting to move in the next, handful of months. So definitely reach out to us for more information specific to you.
And it is a serious wait list, right? I mean, RiverWoods is known for their strength and with their financials, and they have very long wait lists in Exeter and Durham. Right here, right now, it's a fairly new wait list. There's not a ton of people on it, so it's really good timing. And it's a serious wait list. And so ask us, call them, ask us questions, email us questions, or come on in and, we'll be happy to tell you more about it. This is one of the fire pits. This is actually a patio off the assisted living terrace over there. And there's beautiful new stone wall planter that's been built with full of flowers in the fall and pumpkins and everything. It's gorgeous. But these are a lot of residents. Some have been here a few years and some are fairly recent. And there's a fire pit over in the memory support courtyard off the memory wing. And there's also one outside the independent living dining room. So staff are pretty good at grabbing some marshmallows for you if your family comes in or something.
Look who it is.
Oh yeah, it's Julie. Voila. CCRCs offer the best value in senior living. Is true. What other place like this can you leave money to your estate, or at least have a chance of leaving money to your estate? What you want to make sure you do is have a plan. Have a plan. Deposit somewhere. If it's not here, deposit somewhere, get on a wait list, because the number of 80-year-olds is doubling in the next 12 years. So competition is fierce. Right now, there's a small wait list here. You have to wait list soon if you wanted to get into a community like this. Make a plan. So now I think this just highlights our podcast, Seniority Authority. This is Kathleen Toomey, who's been with the RiverWoods group probably 16, 17 years, something like that. Yeah. She's the director of sales marketing for all of our campuses, and she does this great podcast and brings in authorities from all different fields, but it's really helpful, I think, to people. And then we have an online event, on June 13th at 1 o'clock. It's a webinar with an area lawyer about wills and trusts and estate planning. So you're welcome to click on the QR code here, or you can go to our website under events and sign up for that. And I just see one question here. Julie, I don't know if you, let's see. Well, let's look at the question first. Hi, Carol. What is the current market rates for the various levels of care, such as assisted living, memory, and nursing? I don't have those in front of me right now, but they're $1,000 more than our rates for assisted living. And Carol, you have the rate sheet for that. They're $1,500 more a month for memory support and $2,000 more than our independent residents would pay every month for the nursing services. We can get you that information. We can send you the direct admission rate. We don't frequently take direct admissions into the lodge. Really, our focus is on the independent living residents and having space available when they need it. You know, it's an ebb and a flow. It's not an exact science, but our transition team is great about, starting conversations really early and, knowing what people's thoughts are about a move or hiring care in place if they become less safe.
But in the essence of time, feel free to type in any questions you have into the Q&A box, or if you're interested in more information, just say, yes, I'm interested, and we'll reach out to you, or go directly to our website and request something. That's another way of doing it. You can request an information packet, you can request a tour. But we'll give it a couple minutes for people to type things in. But Julie, why don't you talk about your experience of Manchester and how it's been?
Sure. Well, I looked at several different continuing care retirement communities, and as you can imagine, they were really quite different. I was enamored for this community because of the relative smallness of some of the others that I had looked at. It really has a good family feel here. And when I was looking to move to a community, I wanted a good, safe, secure environment but I also have my privacy at the same time. I have a 4th floor apartment and I have a stairwell on one side of me, and it's very quiet, and my cat Jack and I love it here. So I would say to anybody listening, if you are at all interested please come visit us. Talk to the people that live here as well as the staff, and I think you'd be surprised that this might be the right place for you.
Julie, what are your interests and hobbies here? What do you participate in?
Well, I most recently joined the tavern committee as a secretary. So I'm kind of interested in that. As you know, I also work with some of the marketing folks like you people, and I do take advantage of the library. I love being outdoors, and almost the whole place in the area has sidewalks that are nice and safe, as well as just go across the street. In learning more about the community because I moved here from Maine. So I'm really interested in the trips that are coming up, as well as some of the trips that I've been on. It's a good way for me to learn about my new community.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being here and for everything you do to help our team. We really appreciate it. And you've been on a resident panel also at a live event. Yes. And done all sorts of neat things.
Yes.
So I don't see any other questions. Thank you everyone for joining us today. And do give us a call. Whatever we can help with, we'll be happy to. And we look forward to hearing from you.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, Julie.